has the battle of the sexes gone too far? Now, today's culture is more or less, you got a lot of content creators that are pickup artists, relationship coaches, a lot of male podcasts, and
A lot of women
a lot
podcasts.
of women's podcasts, a lot of relationship podcasts that are out there. And I assume everyone is out to help, but it seems like there might be a little bit of hurting going on. Um, so the question is, has it gone too far? So, do you think that the issues, as far as the way relationships have gone between men and women, is it more of a universal thing, or is it more of a cultural thing when it comes to, like, is it more like a black women, black man thing, or is it, are we seeing that same divide in other cultures also?
I think we're seeing the same divide in other cultures that aren't dominated by religion. So in cultures that have an, a media influence, it's
Mm-hmm.
the same problem. It's the same thing. Single people are in the field. There's happy single people. There are unhappy single people. There are happy married people. There are unhappy married people. I
Mm-hmm.
feel like most cultures have those people, those group of people.
Mm-hmm.
So I think every culture that's not dominating, that's not influenced by either religion or a culture where it's like an arranged marriage where you don't really have too much of a choice of who you marry.
Mm-hmm.
I think we've all had these problems or these growing pains.
Yeah, I would agree with you on certain points that you made, but
Mm.
I think what's going on is a little more serious or detrimental to the black community versus other communities. Um, the stats show that black women are the least married.
Okay.
Um, they feel like they are marriageable. They have all the credentials, they have the education, they have the incomes, and they feel like they have the looks and everything like that. So why aren't they married? And why is there an issue with dating between men and women, specifically black men and black women? Um, do do you think that these the factors that I laid out, the content creators, the pickup artists, the like the Kevin Samuels, the figures like that, do you think these people are to blame for the issues that are in that we're seeing inside the dating community?
No, I actually felt like they were actually trying to help,
Mm-hmm.
um, either with tough love or with a level of holding the microscope to the situation or just putting a mirror up to certain people's face like you're delusional. I
Okay.
felt like Kevin Samuels, rest in peace, had a he had a rough approach with women, but I felt like it was needed. It was a dose of reality, but it made money. And I felt like that was the fire that it kind of sparked on the side of it too.
It
It
made
was
money.
it was doing work, but the work was making money.
Okay.
And when money is being made, then people kind of concentrate on certain aspects of things and try to recreate it. And you get
So that's where you think it went wrong. I'm sorry to cut you though.
no. I'm not sure that it went wrong. I mean, it should make money, but I
Mhm.
feel like yeah, I feel like that's where the bad actors come into play
That's what.
when
Well,
things
that was
start
going to
making
be my
money.
next question. Where did it all go wrong? Because you said that you feel like these particular coaches, these content creators, were trying to help,
Mm.
but it seems like we're going in the wrong direction. I don't know if you would agree with that though. Do you
What do you yeah,
do you think we're going in the right direction or the wrong direction?
I feel like we're going in the entertainment direction. You know, it's entertaining. It's entertainment. Everybody, even Cardi B got on the thing today. She was with Wallow. She was giving relationship advice on 50-50. Like she sat on the thing. Everybody has advice on a relationship now because that's what people want to hear. You
Mm.
know, Nicki Minaj went on with Kevin Samuels. You know,
Yeah.
it's part of people's rollout now. This is what media is. Stephen A. Smith, like sports pundits, are giving relationship advice.
Yeah.
Cameron Mace, they have a sports show, but when the sports are slow, they talk about relationship advice. Like everybody's giving, everybody putting their hat in the ring.
Mm.
Um, Everybody has experience.
Very true.
So if it's bad or if it's good or if it's indifferent or if it's negative or if it's positive, everybody has, something to say on it,
Mm.
and everybody sees it. What are your thoughts? You think it's bad? You think it's good? Like you think we're in a bad place?
Um, I could just go by what I see on social media when I'm on there,
Mm,
and a lot of the stuff that reaches my feed, it seems to be divisive.
right.
And I feel like it became divisive when the term toxic masculinity
Mm,
got popular.
okay.
Because, all right, so it seems like even in the description, it seems like part of the blame is the male side.
Mm,
The majority of it is the male side. You got people blaming side by side,
yeah,
right? You
yeah.
got men that are talking about how women are not traditional, they're modern now, and then you have women that have a problem with men talking about certain characteristics of a select group of women,
Yeah.
right? And
Hmm.
women overall, they get triggered,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And I think that's where we start to butt heads because we're all talking,
Hmm.
but we're talking at each other, not with each other, really.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? And when I was saying toxic masculinity, you had the rise of male figures being like podcasting or expressing their feelings,
Yeah.
right?
Hmm.
And there was a whole wave, if you remember, the wave of I remember Charlemagne on the Breakfast Club, and his thing was mental health.
Right.
Oh, you need therapy, black man. You need therapy. Go to therapy. This, that, and the third. Da, da, da. And therapy is for you to express yourself, to speak and to talk, right? So with that, I feel like more men started going to therapy, but others chose other, outlets
Okay.
via the podcast, the content creation, and all of a sudden, regular masculinity was toxic masculinity. Regular masculinity is red pill now, right? Because even when
So
we,
wait a minute. You feel like podcasting for most men was a form of therapy?
I believe it was a platform for men to express how they did feel
Mm-hmm.
about women,
Mm-hmm.
dating, everything surrounded around relationships between men and women.
Okay.
I think a lot of podcasts started like that.
Okay.
Now, I'm not sure if a lot of the women podcasts did that because I'm sorry. Sorry guys. Where were we? Where was I?
Podcasting started off with
Oh,
like a form of therapy.
cuz cuz there have been multiple female platforms that women are able to speak amongst other women and speak about topics and things like that. You had major TV networks, The View, The Real, things like that. Those shows have been going on, and then all of a sudden, males started taking it to the podcasting platforms
Yeah.
to speak.
Mhm.
You know,
Well, I think it started first on Sirius XM, with
okay,
the long form kind of, where you would listen to like Oprah and Anthony, and then Patrice O'Neill would go on there. He would talk about his relationship and stuff like that, and speak on things like that for like a while. And then he got his own show, and then it kind of went over to podcasting. So it started off kind of like there with the manosphere kind of. I feel like
yeah.
it started off on like XM radio.
But even terms like the manosphere,
Mm-hmm.
soon as a term that was centered around men or related to men,
Mm-hmm.
it was deemed to be bad. Mansplaining, manosphere,
Well, yeah.
masculinity, toxic
You had
masculinity.
men's magazines, you had men's health, you had articles in there, you had websites, you had things for men. Same way you have things for women. It's just these are. I always looked at it as like tutelage. I always felt like it was older men with experience speaking to younger men and giving their advice. I always looked at it like advice.
Okay,
Yeah.
but nobody had a problem with that, right?
Mhm.
But when you had men starting to express themselves publicly, not via a magazine or anything like that, or
Mhm.
even major TV networks or anything like that,
Yeah.
just creating their own platforms, it became a problem.
Mhm.
And then it kind of shifted the status quo, because let's be honest about how relationships have been portrayed in the public image.
Mhm.
Like the public image of a married man was like, yes dear, yes dear, yes dear,
Mhm.
what do you want, dear? Okay, I'll take care of it, dear. It's like, be a good husband.
Yeah,
You
really.
understand
If
what
you
I'm
look at some, I mean, some, you get the married with children, but Rock didn't. It wasn't like that. Rock was the head of the household, clearly strong man. Like I think, my wife and kids with Damon Wayans and them.
mm-hmm.
Like he was the strong head of household. Even Martin was a bit of a goof, but he was the, I don't think it was all like dudes just laid down. I felt like he had a good representation of what a healthy relationship was. I
Okay.
felt like the woman was the nurturer and the man was the more analytical, and they were good. There was good representation. I felt like on television and mainstream. I felt like where it started going left was when the love and hip hop kind of stuff started coming out with the VH1. Just started just putting random dysfunctional relationships in a group setting,
Mm.
and that became mainstream. And I felt like that kind of spawned into the podcast world, where now we're talking about dysfunction
Mm.
on the podcast, on the man and the woman side. And dysfunction sells,
It
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 sells.
does.
Like Love and Hip Hop is on this, what, 20th season. Like it's strong. So it's still a strong brand. It might be the only brand still on that network.
Okay.
So dysfunction sells, and dysfunction is entertainment. And I felt like podcasts kind of veered off into the tool kind of setting to a dysfunctional setting, where it became like, all right, let's tell a story about women started telling a story about the whole days, and men started telling stories about the holes that they dealt with, and then it spawned, and then you know here we are.
Okay.
Yeah.
So where did it transform into the I don't want to come off as I'm trying to be objective as possible,
Yeah.
but I am a man, right? And I feel like it's kind of one-sided.
As far as what?
I feel like anything that the man does, it's rebutted. Anything men do, it's rebutted.
It's the life of a man.
It is. It is.
It is what it
It
is.
is.
It is what it is. It's the life of a man. We don't just. It is. It is what it is. Whatever we do, it's gonna be a problem with it. We're too heavy. we build the whole world, we build everything, and we give it to people, and it's not good enough. It's never been good enough. It's never what we do is never good enough. But it's fine because we go to wars, we build industry, we build everything, Wi-Fi, everything is comfortable, and now it's a misogynist society. Fine, it's cool. Enjoy the misogyny.
It's okay.
Yeah,
That's okay with
yeah.
you though.
It's fine because it's the man. It's our role as men to take care of the women and the children, and
I get
and
that.
to be there when they want to vent and they want to. It's just okay.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. But
It's cool.
I get what you're saying.
Right.
I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
But when there was a time, what like I was saying before, there was a time where they wanted men to be more expressive and to speak out
They
more.
said it, but they never really wanted that.
Yeah, I know that's
it was
what.
said, but no one ever wants it
because
everybody's wife tells them, "Let's communicate more, say more, they do more. Don't you could come to me, you could, but they don't really want you to. Like,
no woman wants a complaining man. She don't want to
come to
them.
Man. The house better be on fucking fire.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Like you can't come to them and be like, "Yo, I think my job is acting funny." Because to them, if this nigga's telling me this shit, he got fired already. Why would you tell me that you having problems at the job if you still got a job, nigga? Like you're the end all be all. We have to accept that as men. We are the first and the last word, and we have to live in that world that we created. And with great power comes great responsibility. And where the disconnect comes with the younger men now doing podcasts is that they feel the brunt on the world of that, of our shoulders. They kind of see where we take on those great responsibilities and we get the shit end of the stick. You know, where we build industry.
Are they wrong for not wanting to accept that?
But that's what I'm saying. They see where men of our age and men older than us build industries, built families, built everything, and then leave with nothing because of toxic masculinity. Some of it is deserved. You know what I mean? R. Kelly is in jail because he deserves to be in jail. But some people or some men who are paying alimony and then divorce is kind of on, it's unfair. And I feel like with the younger men, it scares the shit out of them. And they kind of feel like, yo, it's not fair. Fair was never a word that we listened to or we heard or we said when we were coming up.
Yeah,
fair,
I don't think
fair wasn't something
we didn't expect it to
men.
be fair.
Yeah. Yeah, we didn't expect it to be fair. We understood the responsibility, but the younger men are coming into their own, and it's gonna come off as a slight, but they are embracing their feminine side.
Why do you say that?
Everybody has a masculine and a feminine side. I feel like the younger crowd is embracing their feminine side because they want to live life on an equal playing field as women. And that is, I feel like as a man, that is digressing. I feel like you should want to be above and beyond of whoever you're gonna be with. But that's just me. You know what I mean? But yeah, and I feel like those are the loud minority now. You know, those guys speaking of the inconsistencies and of things like that. And I feel like their GOAT is Andrew Tate, which is in jail because the British government, extradited him from wherever he was at, and these are ideologies that he was speaking to white young men. So it's not just a black thing. We got whole governments coming down on ideologies now.
Okay, you are right, but
I said a lot.
Is the ideology when you use the word ideology?
Yeah,
it seems like it's
indoctrination, a belief system.
Or all right, is it a belief system?
Yeah.
Or is it regular man shit?